thought we'd just make a little video about marriage, maybe share some tips and tricks on staying together, well, for 22 years, I suppose.
We've been asked a couple of questions about marriage.
We have been asked a couple of questions about marriage and how long we've been married. And the other day was our wedding anniversary of 22 years.
That long?
You know how long it is.
Isn't she gorgeous?
And so we thought we'd just make a little video about marriage, maybe share some tips and tricks on staying together, well, for 22 years, I suppose. What is the secret? I don't think it's really a secret to having a good marriage, strong marriage. I mean, you just communicate.
Communicate's very important.
You just compromise, as in you be considerate of the other person, I think. And sometimes that means you don't get what you want because you put their needs above yours.
I never get what I want, but that's okay because that's what marriage is about. Keeping her happy.
He does get what he wants.
They have a saying, happy wife, happy life. It is true, but it's more than that.
It's more than that.
It's making sure you're on the same wavelength when it comes to parenting, dividing up the tedious jobs like firewood, mowing the lawn, paying the bills. She hates that one.
Cooking,
cleaning.
Much of the housework.
Yeah.
But you work as a team, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
When you can work as a team, because we're not very similar. We're quite different in personality.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's an advantage because we tend to work together as a team, don't you think?
Well, we sort of fit hand in glove sort of thing, you know. It's like spooning, you know. We sort of fit together really well. Did you like that analogy?
I'm going to take it out.
You're going to take that analogy out? Well, she can't do that.
It's rude.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
It's not always smooth sailing too. I think that, like anything that's worthwhile, you have to work at it and be prepared to go through the, not just tough times, but the mundane times, and not expect everything to be fireworks all the time, because it's not. That's not real life. So we met when I was very young. I was 19 when we met, and he was 28. He's 9 years older than I am. And I don't know, we sort of got along straight away, didn't we?
Hey, we work, and we got 3 great kids, and it's been a good life so far.
I think it's good to communicate too.
Yeah.
And to respond rather than to react in conflict situations. That helps.
I think you have to find
things. I think you're good at that.
Yeah. I think you've got to find things that you want to do together too. But you don't want to do everything together because you have to have your own life as well, and I think we do that quite well. I have my interests, you have yours. Mine's watching sport on TV.
Yeah.
And that works. Although I'd like it if you watched a bit more, but you know, if you're not interested.
Watch sport?
Yeah, with me.
You want me to watch sport? Have you met me?
I have. But that's okay.
We watch other things together, other shows together sometimes.
We do. And we have interests.
Yeah, we watch Poldark and sometimes Scandal. We've got to get back onto that though.
And Outlander.
And Outlander.
We play a lot of games and with our kids and with each other, and board games and that sort of stuff.
Camping.
A lot of camping. We have a caravan and a ski boat. It's important that you build your life together.
He's very wise, don't you think? What advice would you give newlyweds now that we haven't talked about already?
Try not to go to bed without making up. Sometimes I've broken that rule myself, but you try not to. It's best to make up when you have disagreements or miscommunications. Find out what really rocks your partner, what makes them really happy, because often it won't be what makes you happy. If you can figure out like their love language, if you can figure that out, it does make making up really easy.
So what makes me happy?
You like quality time.
I do like quality time.
Yeah, and just spending time, so playing games together, just sitting together, having a cuddle, having a coffee, or going out for a meal together. Just quality time is your thing. Whereas, what's mine?
Acts of service.
Yeah, I like people to do stuff for me. I think just before you get married, you need to realise that, hey, the first couple of years is going to be really tough because you've got to learn to live with someone if you haven't been living with them, and that's a big learning curve. And the older you are, so the longer you've been away from home, like me, I was 30 odd, I had a big learning curve to learn to think about someone else other than myself all the time, and that's a really tough thing to do. And marrying somebody who was so young, I think there was a lot of life learning for her, So we ended up doing that together, learning to live together as a husband and wife, and learning to get on with each other. Life's too short. Got to try and enjoy life, make the most of it.
I think you've got to choose to get along too sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not worth digging your heels in and arguing your point. You know, does it really matter? Will it really matter in 6 months that you won this particular argument, or that you got your way in 6 months? Make the choice to get along.
I think some people make marriage a competition, and they always have to win, and always have to be the boss and always in charge, and it doesn't work. I think it's important that there's a balance, and that you're a partnership, not one in charge of the other all the time. Sometimes one will take the lead, sometimes the other one will take the lead, and that works better than one person being in charge. There are lots of times where you have to talk about what you're going to do, especially with the kids and with big financial decisions. You've got to talk about it, make sure that you're both happy and you're on the same page.
We're pretty lucky we get to spend a lot of time together because we work at the same place, and we're both teachers, so we have an early finishing time, and we have holidays together as well. So we're very, very lucky. Do you think that marriage is still relevant?
Totally. I just don't see the level of commitment today that we need to keep families together. I think marriage is an institution created by God, and it's a recognition of God as creator.
So you'd recommend marriage to other people?
Yeah, but not to you, because I've got your mind. Definitely, marriage is great, but it's really important that you don't just jump in. You've got to get to know them. You've got to talk about everything that's important in a marriage beforehand, so that you're both on the same page, because there's no point finding out stuff later. 22
years? How much longer can you do?
How much longer I'm going to be alive for? I fully intend to outlive her.
Do you?
Yeah, I try to anyway.
Oh, good luck.
So, she can look after me in my old age. She looks after me well when I need it, and I think I look after her pretty well when she needs it.
You look after me very well.
Like I said earlier, we're a good team. It'd be nice to be able to share some grandchildren together and spend some time playing with our grandchildren one day. So that's a fair way down the track.
That'd be nice. Anything else you want to add? I think we've pretty much said everything.
Except that 22 years, mate, you get less for murder these days.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You know, you started with the lame dad jokes.
I know. I'm dad.
The kids hate it.
So there could be granddad jokes. So, I think I'm doing all right, only making dad jokes.
Alright, you guys.
Hasta la vista, baby. See you later.
And don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.
You're rambling.
Rambling. Yes.
You're rambling.